Hey everyone, welcome back to I Dream of Homestead. I'm Josephina and today we are outside starting seeds and I am so excited. So because I don't have a greenhouse yet, I currently start my seeds inside. This will be my second year starting them inside and I have them on some shelves with some grow lights that I purchased. So I'm currently on my back porch with all of my stuff ready to go. I've already mixed some organic potting soil up with some water in a container and I am going to take you along with the process as I do it. Like I said, this is my second year doing it, so I am not a professional. I've told you guys many times that I am brand new at all of the things that I'm doing, so I'm just taking you guys along on the ride. If you want some great seed starting tutorials, I would take a look at Roots and Refuge page. She is absolutely amazing and everything that she teaches, she has taught me so much. So I'll link one of her videos down in the description box for you to take a look at. But in the meantime, let's start some seeds. Before I dive into the seed starting, I just want to show you guys the stuff that I have set up for me to start seeds. I've currently got all of the seeds that I plan on doing. I've got these reusable labels that I used last year, and so what I'm going to do is any that does have something written on them, I'm just going to scratch that out and use the opposite side, and then maybe some other time, you know, end of the year, whenever I'm feeling like it, I will go and just scrub off what is on them. I also have several of these really awesome seed starting trays that I got off of Amazon. The cool thing about these is that they are affordable, they are reusable, and it comes with this insert so that you can add water and water the plants from the bottom. Also on the lid, it's got this really cool vent on it so that you can align it with the holes and allow air to come in and out. And for those things that need some extra humidity, you can close it off and keep the lid on it. I only did this with some of the plants, but for the most part, I just left it like this with the grow lights over them, and everything was super successful last year. So hopefully it's going to be super successful this year too. No, you know what? Not hopefully. It will be successful this year. I'll link down in the description box everything that I've used and where I purchased it from, so that if you guys want to take a look at it and maybe order them for yourselves, you can do that. But I'm going to start by filling each one of these with soil. This is just regular organic potting soil that I got at the store. I mixed in some water, and as I put it into each one of these little cells, I make sure to pull out any of the large chunks. That way it doesn't disrupt the seedling's root system as it's going in, just because they're so delicate. I'm gonna switch you guys over to time lapse while I finish filling in all of the soil. Okay, so here's my setup for each individual one of these containers. I've got 2 different seeds. I'm gonna start in each one, except for in this container, I'm gonna start 3 different seeds just because I don't want so many of each plant. So for the ground cherries, the paprika, and the pimento, that's gonna get, they're gonna share that one cell. But everything else is gonna get 2 different types of seeds in each one. And so as I put in the seeds, I'm going to make sure to write out what it is and stick it in right away, because once these start growing, there will be no way for me to be able to tell what everything is. First 2 seeds I'm going to start are spinach and arugula. And I'm just looking at the back of these to figure out exactly how I need to sow them. And if I don't understand these enough, then I just go to my good old friend Google and get my answers there. So for these just get sprinkled on the surface, and then I'm gonna lightly press them in because they're so teeny tiny. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a bunch on there and press them in. And as they grow, I will go in and thin out what I don't need anymore, just to make sure that I get enough growing to be able to set out in the planter. Butter crunch and romaine. For For these seeds, since they're just a little bit bigger, I'm just going to create like a small well in the soil and sprinkle in just a few and then cover it up with just a really super thin layer of soil. And then same with these, once they all start growing, then I'll thin it out so that it's just one in each one and they're not competing with each other for all those nutrients in the soil. So I already made a boo-boo, and this is what these labels are helpful for. I put the butter crunch where I wanted the romaine, so I'm just gonna flip these labels over. I had one of the romaine seeds fall into the butter crunch, so I caught that bad boy and put them right back in his spot. In this next tray, I'm gonna start some Merlot lettuce and then some celery seeds. So the celery says it should be done 8 to 12 weeks before the last frost, and I am about 5 to 6 weeks out, so I'm hoping it's not too late. The only way I'm gonna find out is by trying, so I'm gonna start some of those with these. I almost did it again. I almost put them in the wrong spot. Okay, I almost put them in the celery side. I'm gonna move over to the Merlot lettuce side and stick them in here. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have been mentally struggling for some time now. I lost my grandma coming up on 3 weeks this Saturday, and even talking about it gets me a little bit choked up, but it's been mentally difficult going through that grief. And so I was not wanting to do this video. I have not been motivated at all to do any kind of videos, and so I was actually kind of just like, ugh, I don't want to do this right now. I just want to be able to buy all of these starters and not have to think about all this stuff. But I don't got the money for that. And now that I'm sitting here doing it, I am so thankful I did. It is 84 in February here in South Carolina. Our fall spring has made its way in, and just sitting here putting my hands in some soil and knowing that most of these seeds are gonna get going for me really soon is putting me in such a great mental place right now. I'm really thankful for moments like this where I didn't want to do something but I did it anyway. It's really helpful. Celery seeds I'm sprinkling on top as well because these are itty bitty. Roma tomatoes and some Costoluto tomatoes. Currently got the Roma tomato seeds in my hands. These are a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna create like a little dip in with my finger and stick it in there. I'm actually gonna do the same way I did last year because it worked really well for me. I just create like a little dip in there with my finger in each corner of the cell, and in each one I'm gonna stick about 1 or 2 seeds, and then that way I get for sure more than just 3 tomato plants from these cells, because with these, when I thin them out, I can just separate them from each other, and they do really well with the transplanting. Last year I just did the few cells and each one of them sprouted several tomatoes, and then I separated them into their own pots once they got big enough, and they did so well. I had so many tomato plants that I was giving them away. Purple tomatillo. Same process as the tomatoes for these. Green tomatillos. Pasilla. Same process as the tomatoes with these. Make a little well with my finger and add seed into each one. Send me all your good and lovely vibes for those, because these packets only come with about 10 seeds in each. So I just used them all. Guajillo. Chile de árbol. Puya pepper. Anaheim pepper, poblano peppers, jalapenos, paprika peppers. I made 4 holes with my finger, so try to get 1 in each one of those 4 holes.
Can you?
I can hear him now.
Oh my god.
Pimento peppers. Okay, all of the seeds are in, and now I'm gonna take everything inside to get on some heat mats and under some grow lights. And I'm also gonna show you guys the setup that I have inside. So this is the current setup that I have for starting my seeds. It is small and it's literally in my bedroom because this window here gets sunlight all day. Like the sun rises on this side and it sets on this side, so it's just all day sun. So I currently have just 2 grow lights. I bought this one last year and this one this year. And each one of these has a heat mat. I bought this heat mat this year. And for now, I'm gonna leave it at just the 2 grow lights. I might order one soon, another one soon. But for this top one, I'm not putting the grow lights at the moment just because that top shelf gets sunlight all day. But on cloudy days or when it's just not as sunny, I'll alternate this lamp here and here, just taking turns because it does have a timer. And like I said before, I'm gonna link in the description box all of these items that I purchased because I got everything off Amazon with the exception of this little stand. I got this just at a local place. But I'll link that in there for you so that you guys can take a look and decide if this is something that you also would like to use. All right, well that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I hope that you're willing to stick around with me on this journey to becoming a homesteader and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you soon.